It's that time of year again when we have updated Americans' perception of the honesty and ethics of a list of various professions. Let's look first at the top 5. Nurses, congratulations. Americans have a higher honesty rating of nurses than any other profession we tested. In fact, at 82%, it's 12 points higher than the next profession. So nurses clearly at the top of the heap. Great news for those of you in the very important nursing profession that are watching this. Now, below nurses, fleshing out the top 5 are pharmacists, grade school teachers, medical doctors, and military officers. All of these have been in the higher ranks over the years when we measured them, but they, along with nurses, constitute the top 5. Well, that's the good news. Let's look at the bad news. 3 professions are at the very bottom of our list. These are the 3 professions in whom Americans have the lowest level of honesty in terms of their perceptions of that honesty. The very bottom of the list, something very germane to where I am right now here in Washington, D.C., lobbyists. Look at that, 6% honesty rating, followed by members of Congress. Of course, members of Congress are whom lobbyists lobby most of the time at 8%, and then car salesmen at 9%. So although car salesmen are always low, lobbyists and members of Congress are actually below those, and those are the 3 professions at the bottom of the list that are in single digits. Some other things to point out to you, the clergy is down. We're not sure exactly why. Clergy used to be near the top of the list, and we just use that one word, clergy, but we've seen a gradual downtick in perceptions of the honesty of the clergy, perhaps due to the scandal about priests and some other things in the Catholic Church, but in this particular rendering, clergy at 47%, below the 50% mark, and that's the lowest that we've measured for clergy in history. Medical doctors, I mentioned earlier in the top 10, they've actually come up some. So even though the healthcare system in general gets savaged in a lot of the press and things about the cost and access to healthcare, doctors themselves, as I mentioned, and nurses and pharmacists are actually doing pretty well, and doctors are up. A couple of other points. Judges, we would like to trust judges, wouldn't we? Well, less than half of Americans say that the honesty and ethics of judges is very high or high. And finally, some good news for those of you who are in business who are watching. Although business executives' honesty rating isn't great, it's actually ticked up some over the years, and now the honesty rating for business executives is the highest that we have seen going back to 2001, and it's considerably higher than the honesty rating for members of Congress, if you want to juxtapose those 2 professional groups out there in American society. A lot more on our honesty and ethics ratings here at Gallup.com, but that's a good review for you as we update it every December. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, Gallup Editor-in-Chief.